Okay, so I wanted to make a video about Scream 6. So this is going to be a spoiler review, full spoilers. Okay. So I thought this movie was not great. I thought better than 5. I liked it more than 5. Just to recap, I think 5 was a terrible, terrible movie. This is slightly better, I'd say. One of the reasons is 5. I didn't like how they treated Dewey. I thought like it was an insulting end to a character that before that had been in 4 movies. I mean, he leaves he leaves his wife, who he's always been in love with. He leaves her for no reason. They give no reason. He just runs out in the middle of the night and then becomes basically an alcoholic and his and then gets fired from his job as a police officer, and then just like watches her on TV, and they never even she never even tracks him down and asks him why'd you leave. Like it's stupid, and just insulting to the character, and then they just kill him off. And he's also dumb when he's being killed off because he gives up his gun to the people that are going down an elevator, and then he's gonna go check on the guy that he just shot. It's like you're gonna go check on him without your gun. It's just real. It's just so stupid. And there's a bunch of things in that movie. Maybe I'll make a review of it one time. But anyway, so Scream 6. Nev Campbell isn't in it because apparently they wouldn't give her enough money. So her greed what it's kind of smart because I thought this movie's it's not very good. I mean, Nev Campbell was in 5, so Um, and of course Dewey's dead, and so you just have whatever Gale Ann Hurd or whatever the character's name is. Um, Probably the weakest character out of like the core group, I'd say. But of course they kill off Dewey, of course. So very stupid. I didn't like that movie. So this one takes place in New York City. I will give this movie some credit on. I like that it's in the city. Um, you haven't really had that. I mean, a little bit in 3. That was in L.A. Um, but I don't know. It seemed like a lot of 3 kind of took place like in the Hollywood Hills, kind of something like that. So different setting. Um, so, anyways, I think what's her name? Jenna Ortega. I think she's pretty good. Yeah, Jenna Ortega. So she's pretty good. And it's funny, Scream 5 and 6 keep giving Skeet Ulrich, what a name, Billy Loomis work. So I guess that's cool for him. But I'm not really into the other sister, Melissa Barrera. I don't know. I just think I don't know. I don't think she's that great of an actress. I think everyone else is pretty good. Um, except Dermot Mulroney. I actually thought he was like bad in this movie, like his acting. I don't know. I actually thought it was kind of bad. So, and I mean, he's usually a decent actor. I don't know. I think it was the material he was given. Um, and he wasn't in 5. So, anyways, everyone else is pretty good. So, 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 so this movie has a lot of red herrings. Like they try and throw out the killers like left and right in your face. Jake Champion is one. They're even kind of trying to make you think. I don't know, and there's a couple other red herrings. Mason Gooding, who's like a neighbor that's sleeping with the older sister Melissa. So I don't know if that's good writing or if it's just a little cheap, but um, so Courtney Cox is in it, and it kind of opens and there's a fake. Someone kills someone with the Ghostface mask on, and then um, and then he goes back to his apartment, and then he's killed by Ghostface. So ooh, isn't that different? Okay, yeah, it is. All right. So so like I said, I think it's better than five, but I still think it's just kind of a bad movie. Um, and there's this whole thing about that people are blaming Melissa Barrera, Sam Carpenter, which is the Carpenter sisters, and it's like, oh, why? Because John Carpenter. Ooh, a reference. Ooh, okay. This movie wishes it had John Carpenter directing it. But there's this thing that they're blaming her for the death of that guy that she killed in the previous movie and that girl, and it's just like, why would that happen? I mean, there would be so much evidence in that house of what was going on, that they were trying to kill people, that they did kill people. I mean, it would be closed shut case. Like it does. I don't know. That made no sense to me. And um, I don't want to go through the whole plot, but and then she's like complaining to her doctor that she kind of enjoyed killing him. And then the doctor's like, "Ooh, I have to report this to the police." And it's like, "What?" Like, I don't think that's how it works. I think they have to report it to the police if you make a threat against someone. She wasn't threatening people, so that made no sense. It's funny. The doctor is the guy that's in the first Mission Impossible. I always liked that actor, but I haven't always seen him in almost anything since then. So at least he's getting work, I guess. So so yeah, there's a bunch of red herrings, and you're kind of like, oh, it's this guy, it's this guy, it's this person, and and there's also this like they go to this like basically this museum that they think was owned by someone that was killed by Ghostface, and it's like this museum of all of these pieces that have been used in previous movies. I mean, like all the movies, and it's like, and they mention this. They're like, oh, wouldn't these be like, um, part of a crime scene? And then she's like, well, things can disappear. And it's just like, yeah, right. I mean, you're gonna have throughout every single five different crime scenes. You have the weapons, you have the mask, you have the outfit. I mean, you even have random parts of the house, like a telephone that's partly melted, and I don't know. It's just like so unbelievable. It's just it's very unbelievable. No, I just watched Evil Dead Rise. I think this is better. I think I enjoyed it more. Um, but I think there's similar problems. Some of the characters you don't really like that much. I mean, I think Jenna Ortega's pretty good. I like her character. Um, there's a brother and sister team. I mean, I kind of liked them. I think his name's is it Andre Anthony? No, that's not him. I don't know. I think he was like a football player in the fifth one. No, Mason Gooding. Okay. Oh, he's the son of Cuba Gooding Jr. Oh, okay. That's interesting. All right. Well, he's a good actor. He's good in the movie. His sister's good. She's fine. Um. Okay, so I was wrong about the neighbor, but there's a neighbor who's a red herring. You think it could be him, but then he saves them. So yeah, and there's this like basically it's like a museum with all these things. I just don't believe that that place would exist. But and then you find out that um, so then and then also someone that was in Scream 5 is in this too. Yeah, Hayden Panettiere. So she's an FBI agent, and then and honestly, she didn't even have to be in this movie. I mean, I don't know. I just feel like she didn't really do much. I mean, she brings them to. Well, Courtney Cox discovers that museum place, and they go to it, and then they leave. I think, and then the last act takes place there, and then she brings them to the place, and and then and then Dermot Mulroney, who earlier his daughter was killed, or you think she was. So he then calls them and he's like, "Oh, I was just talking to the FBI and they fired her months ago because after the Ghostface appeared in Scream 5, she kind of was started going nuts and obsessing about the case. So then it's like, oh, she's the killer. So they go to this place and there's like one entrance and she's like, we're gonna lock him in here, we're gonna kill, we're gonna go after Ghostface. And but then it's like, oh, she's Ghostface, but no, it's not, because it's actually Dermot Mulroney, his daughter, who you think was killed by Ghostface earlier but wasn't, and and then his other son, and he is the father of the killer son guy in 5, but that's never mentioned in 5. He's not in 5. So it just seems kind of cheap. It's like, oh, so you're gonna kind of retcon it, and it seems kind of cheap to me. And also, it just makes no sense. Like, he is the daughter of this girl, and when Ghostface appears in 6, they put him on the case, and they know his daughter's living with Jenna Ortega, and it's like, isn't that a conflict of interest? Couldn't that like ruin your case going forward? I don't think that would happen. I don't know. I don't think it would. And also, Hayden Panettiere was almost killed by Ghostface in 4, but she's on the case by the FBI. But I guess she wasn't actually. I don't know. So that made both those just don't make any sense to me. And so, anyways, so he's the killer, and this is when it starts to get really cheesy, I think, because I think his acting, it's just off. Like, I don't know. He just seemed really over the top, really cheesy, almost like a cackling villain. And he's like, "Oh, it's me and my daughter and son. Now we're gonna get you, and it's all because you killed my boy." And it's like, your boy was a psycho who was trying to kill them. What are they supposed to do? So I don't know. Leave a comment if you agree with me about his acting. I just thought it was off and just cheesy. And also, it's like, so you're gonna what? Kill them with your other kids who could die, and they do die. Both of them get killed, and it's just like, oh great. So then you killed your other two kids, and your other son's dead, and then he dies at the end, of course. So he's chasing them down. They're all three trying to get him, and of course they're so stupid. I mean, they are just so stupid. Like in one scene, he has Sam Carpenter. She's in he has her. She hasn't she I don't even think she has a weapon because she gives the knife to Jenna Ortega, and he has a gun. And guess what he does? Guess what he chooses to do? He charges her with the gun. Like, you have a gun, you could, what are you doing? I don't know. Maybe I just expect some. I mean, he's a cop. You think he would know how to aim the gun and use it? I mean, it makes no sense at all. And you have, and this was a problem in Scream Five, I think. You have Sam Carpenter, and she's a schizophrenic basically, and she sees visions of her father, Billy Loomis, who, by the way, that was another retcon. It's like, oh, Billy Loomis had two daughters, but it was never mentioned. But you know what? I don't know. But anyways, I mean, she literally sees this guy. He talks to her like she's nuts. Like, I don't think that's how it works. Like, I mean, she should be like, I don't know, like taking pills, like maybe in a mental institution. I don't know. It almost makes like schizophrenia or something look like a superpower or something. It's strange. It's very strange. I don't really like how they do that. And of course, Billy Loomis is wearing his white shirt from Scream One, and it's just I don't know. This movie's just kind of laughably dumb, but I will give it that. I think it is better than Evil Dead Rise. I liked it more. I mean, besides her, Sam Carpenter, and Dermot Mulroney, the acting it's all right. It's fine. So there's also a scene that almost kind of rips off an old movie that's called Judgment Night. I don't know if they were trying to do that, but I think they may have ripped it off. So so basically, they're in an apartment, and they use a ladder to get to the other side, which happens at Judgment Night. I don't know. It could just be a generic, you know, thing. But yeah. Anyways, not a great movie. Not the worst. Better. I liked it more than five. Um, you know, I'm sorry. Courtney Cox has got. She has some bad like plastic surgery or something. I'm sorry. Like, she was a beautiful woman. I mean, her mom was Wonder Woman. I mean, it's not like the worst ever, but I don't know. And then she gets injured, and of course she doesn't die. And then the sister, Jasmine Brown, She gets injured. She gets stabbed on a train, and then like 30 minutes later, she's at the shows up at that museum because her brother almost was killed. Mason Gooding. Um, but it's like she's walking around, and it's like you were just stabbed in the subway train. You would be in the hospital. You're lucky to be alive. I mean, and that's another thing. It's like people in this movie, they're just kind of stabbed willy nilly, and it's cool. I mean, as long as you don't stab them in the face. Like, that's what it seems like. And it's like, yeah, right. If you get stabbed in the stomach, that's a bad wound. I mean, that's a bad wound. I mean, it's like these, Sam Carpenter even stabs Dermot Mulroney like 20 times. But he's okay. And then she's gonna let him go, but then Jenna Ortega's like, no, kill him, basically, and she does. And I don't know. I mean, I'd probably rank, one, two, four, then three, then this one, then five. I think five's the worst. I definitely think five's the worst. So, so yeah. Really, out of the core group, no one dies. They're all just stabbed, but they're okay. It's just like Mason Gooding gets stabbed like bad, but he's okay. His sister does. Oh, she's okay. I think Jenna Ortega does too. She's fine. There's no consequences for anything. Hayden Panettiere gets stabbed. She's okay. And the three of them are defeated, and I really think it's cheesy that and stupid that he's the father of the guy in five, but it's never mentioned. I mean, he's not even in five. At least set it up, But no, they don't. So, some talented cast, I think, besides the people I didn't really like. But, you know, not a great movie, not the worst ever. Um, I think I think that whole museum thing makes no sense. I'm sorry, I think it's stupid. But anyways, I think that's about it. I don't know. Like, comment, subscribe. Let me know how you felt about the movie. Let me know if you think that if Dermot Mulroney's acting was as bad as I thought.